Well, good evening and welcome to the Mover segment here on TV3. My name is Parkwisi Asari. Tonight, we're inside the Spintex Road and I'm going to be speaking to a young man who is into the production of local shoes for the high-end market. I'm talking about Joshua Carriage Deborah. Good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, thank you.
So you are Chief Executive Officer of Adepa Shoes.
Yes, I am.
To start with, why the name Adepa Shoes?
Adepa Shoes, we wanted to sound Ghanaian, and also Adepa in local parlance means something valuable. So since we are into shoes, we wanted to do valuable shoes for people.
Right. And how long have you been doing this?
For 3 years.
For 3 years
Yes,
now. You've
yes,
been
for
into the
3
production
years.
of shoes for 3 years
Yeah,
now.
for 3 years.
I imagine you have a factory, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
And where is this factory located?
Kumasi.
In Kumasi. How many workers do you have?
We have 10 workers.
10 workers. And they've been with you all throughout the start of the shoe factory.
Yeah.
Could you run me through the process of producing or manufacturing a shoe?
Yes, I can. With this as an example, we just get the leather, we cut our patterns, and then we stitch them together. And afterwards, we prepare the sole, and then last the sole, the whole shoe around the shoe.
And this will often take like how many minutes or hours?
It would take about a day to do.
A day to
Yes,
do this?
to do this, yes.
So how many of these do you produce in a day?
In a day, we can do about 10.
About 10 of these
Yeah.
in a day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what are your distribution channels?
We usually sell abroad and then here in Ghana. Yep. And then we look at the production line. It's all handmade process, and we pay attention to details. So until we get it right, we don't. It does. A shoe doesn't pass our quality control process until everything is right on the shoe. Yeah.
Over the past 3 years, what have been the major challenges you've been confronted with?
With people accepting the brand, it was very difficult for us. But then with consistency and then with the product being a good product, with time they've accepted us, and then it's been easy.
So how do you go about your marketing?
We often use social media, word of mouth, and then other interviews we do grants time to time.
I see. Let's talk about the pricing of your shoes, because it's a quite competitive market. I know there are quite a number of people who are into this market.
Yeah.
What does the pricing look like?
It's good. It commensurates with the product we sell because of the work we put in, the product we use.
So how much does a shoe cost? For instance, this very beautiful one I have here, how much does it cost?
300 cedis.
300
Yeah,
cedis.
300 cedis.
It's quite expensive, isn't it?
Are you sure?
How much is this?
There's also 300.
Those are 300
There's
cedis.
also 300.
So that's the least price.
That's
for
the least
each.
price for
What's
our
the maximum?
It depends on what the client requests for, because we also do bespoke services. A client can walk in and then bring his or her own design with his own kind of materials he would want us to use. So with that, we can charge up to almost 600 cedis. That's the
I talk
maximum
about
we can go.
competition because, again, like I said, there are quite a number of people in this market.
Yeah.
So what are you doing to differentiate yourself from the rest?
For us, it's the finishing. The finishing is everything to us. Our finishing, and then the materials we use for our shoes. Then the designs we always come up with are quite different because, like I say, we look at what is trending on the international front in terms of fashion, and then we try to replicate it, and that is quite unique to us.
You did tell me about your number of workers, 10 of them.
Yeah.
How do you pay them?
It's based on the number of shoes they produce at the end of the month or at the end of every production. So we pay them based on the number of shoes they produce.
And they're quite excited working with you?
Yeah, they are very. And it is showing in the shoes that we churn out time to time. Because if they are discounted, we wouldn't get this kind of quality materials on the market.
I see. I'm sure you've got plans for the future, to obviously plans of expansion and all that. What do they look like?
Quite good, because we've had interest from abroad, and it's good. It's good. Recently, we had an email from the biggest suit making company in Dubai, Knight and Lords, and they make suits for the king of Uganda, and they have decided to partner with us. And here in Ghana too, we are working with one good suit making company, Mason Hardman, and quite a number of them. Yeah. Quite a number of them. And in South Africa too, we are gaining grounds there because we've made shoes for the Minister of Home Affairs over there. And he's quite happy with what we did, and we are negotiating.
That's quite interesting. So you currently produce for the high-end market. Is that to say you don't target the let's say the average Ghanaian on the street, or what?
We do. But then with the high-end markets, we are trying to market the bespoke services to them. With them bringing in their own designs, and then we will do it for them at an affordable cost. But time to time, we release collections like what you are seeing here. And so anyone can walk in once he or she can afford them. Yeah, we can afford from our finances.
Okay, so you're currently present in Accra and Kumasi.
But Kumasi, we don't sell over there. We just produce and then bring them here in Accra.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, growing up as a young man, what's been your motivation?
My motivation is to create a legacy. Is to leave a legacy when I depart from it. So anything I do, I'm quite cautious about it. If it's not worth doing, I don't attempt.
Is there any businessman or woman here in Ghana that inspires you?
For now, yes, I think it's Kantanka. Kantanka Cars.
What about him inspires you?
His zeal and passion to, put Ghana on the map and then lift Africa. It's something that is not easily seen here in our part of the world.
Do you see yourself getting there?
Certainly. With what we have achieved so far, I think we are getting there, and we will get there with some years to come. Yeah, we will.
Have you done all this with the support of anyone in terms of partnership, or it's been a sole effort?
It's been a sole effort with myself and my team I started with, but external hands coming in, no. It's just myself and my team.
Going into the future, if anybody walked up and said, I want to have shares in your business, I want to take up an equity in a business, would you give it out?
I would have to discuss that with my team, but then if it makes sense business-wise, why not? We'll look into it. But then it has to be a concerted team effort. Yeah.
So where did you get this whole idea from, the shoe business? Where did it come from?
From my brother. I love shoes, he knows, and so he introduced me to someone who makes shoes, and I thought that I could make business out of it. And so I met the person and then discussed the machines he needed to do more, and then discussed with my friends, and then we invested in the person.
How much was the initial capital for investment?
About 10,000 cedis. Yeah, got us starting. But then getting the shop and then expanding, buying more machines. For the past 3 years, we've invested about 100,000 cedis.
100,000 cedis, and the profits are good. The margins.
For now, it's good. It's good.
I see. You talked about marketing on social media.
Yeah.
What's been the advantages?
It's good because it gives you a wider reach, and also not here in Ghana but abroad. And for the reach aspect, it's good. Comparing it to the regular marketing that we used to do, social media has really come to help us with the startups. Yeah.
Finally, what advice do you have for the youth out there? I'm sure there are a lot of startups there who want to grow, and obviously are looking up to people like you. What advice do you have for them?
For me, I would say whatever they want to do, they should just add passion to it and then be consistent. And with time, they would break through.
So if anybody wanted to get in contact with Adepa Shoes, what do they have to do? If they want to contact you on social media?
First is our website, adepashoes.com. On social media, we use Adepa Shoes GH on all the platforms. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Joshua, for your time. Good to have you on the program. Well, that's all for our Mover segment for this week. I've been speaking to the Chief Executive Officer of Adepa Shoes, Joshua Carries Deborah. God willing, same time next week, we'll come your way with yet another edition of your Mover segment.